everybody. Welcome to...
Oh, no, you have to play the whole video of Mr.
No,
Doug.
I don't. I'm just doing this.
Okay.
Welcome to 5 Flips and Fails. The first fail of us tonight was not figuring out how to use StreamYard and having everybody go to a vertical position on your phones, which they weren't supposed to. It just came out that way. Anyway, we're back. We're here. And so we're here to chat about some stuff that we've done recently. I feel like Jack Benny. Yeah, Rick just paid for a summer vacation. 10 minutes of this. So what we're here to do is we have been doing a little bit of selling, a little bit of shopping. I'm back to shopping again. I don't know if anybody saw my little thing for it's beginning to look a lot like Thriftmas because Christmas is out. And so it's one of my favorite times for thrifting because there's concentrated amounts of stuff that actually end up showing up in the stores. Like the big aisles and aisles and aisles of stuff that show up in the stores. And so I really like that as it's kind of like a different version of a baggy wall almost. It's like there's a lot of stuff to look at. And so we've been looking. So what we're going to talk about today is some of our more recent finds. And Rick has been nice enough to accompany me on a weekly basis out here.
I didn't go today, but we went yesterday.
He was actually fixing another computer in our house today.
Windows 11.
Yeah.
My nemesis.
At least, remember when we did the What Sold video? We were chatting for 15 minutes before someone asked why we hadn't started. No, don't know what you're talking about.
I remember it well.
I blocked it. So that's what we got today. We got some finds, some flips, and some fails, or maybe fails. So I'm going to start right off the bat with something I found today when I was out that Rick was not a part of. What am I doing? Here I am. That Rick was not a part of, and this is and he's going to look at me and go. So I think this is a bit of a find. This could be a bit of a flip. Or it could end up being a gigantic fail. And what it is if now I got to figure out if I got the things there. So this, I don't know if anybody's going to manage to see these on the other screen if you're on the vertical screen, but this is what I walked by. And this is the first thing I saw when I was walking by. I saw this thing. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I got a little closer to it. And I thought, that's a really interesting pattern. It looks like it might be Pyrex. And it actually is Pyrex, but it's the England Pyrex. So I don't know if I don't know if they get a lot of these in the US, but in Canada, we do. We get this stuff. And it's Pyrex, and it's called JAJ is the symbol on it. And I don't know if it's because of our normal affiliation with the UK as to why we see some of this. We see a lot of this in our stores. I don't know if anybody sees this in the US. And it was $3.99. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, I'm going to try and see this because I know this is something that could be interesting. So I did a Google search on it. Now I got to do it again because I forgot what the hell I did with this. So I did a Google search on this to try and figure out what the heck it is, because obviously with patterns, that's a hard thing to do, especially with Pyrex. And so what I found out is this is, it's called, I can show you this on my phone here. It's called JAJ Pyrex Matchmaker. Matchmaker is the pattern. So I'm just going to pull up an eBay thing here, and I'm going to look up JAJ. Matchmaker. And let me just get to here. So this is JAJ Matchmaker, and let me make this a little bit bigger. So it's interesting. So I looked at this and I saw these are interesting. And then, well, Lisa says she has that pattern, but in blue and green. Well, that's just it. Most of the patterns I see on here are blue and green. There's a red and yellow, and somebody has just the two plates for $99. If I look at solds aren't that great. JAJ doesn't do really great with solds. So here are, I'm going to make this a little smaller. How do I make it smaller? There we go. Solds, they're okay, but as you can see, like $7 for this one. It's like, that's not that great. $7. $26. But again, even $5 and $10, they're not showing up as really, but every single thing that's showing up is the blue and the green, the blue and green pattern. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this as a potential find, flip, or fail. And here's the reason that it could be a fail. And Rick hates it when I do this, is take a look at that. How disgusting it is. Because Rick's going to be the one who cleans it for me.
Yep.
So, and I don't think that there's necessarily an easy way to get this off. Crusty. Yeah, that's a word. That's one word for it.
Yeah, oven cleaner.
Barkeeper's friend. Yeah, we have Barkeeper's friend.
As long as it's not on the pattern, I will use Barkeeper's friend. But if it's on the pattern,
it might be on the pattern.
I will not use the Barkeeper's friend on the pattern.
Awesome. Awesome.
We don't get awesome in Canada.
You can't get awesome in Canada. Carl,
if we mail it to Amy, will she clean it for us?
Yeah, I can send it up to you. Barkeeper's friend will scratch. I can.
Yes, I know. That's
Rick
why
really
I would not use it on the pattern.
I wish we had that. I know I meant to get that, but we can't buy awesome now for 3 more years till we go back down to the States. So that was just one thing that I thought that could sort of fit into the world of, it's a find.
Oh, Sharon says we do have awesome in Canada.
Do we? Oh, okay. I'll have to look and see. Maybe it could be a Dollar Tree, not Dollarama. I don't think it's a Dollarama. You get it, Sharon? Do you get it at Dollar Tree? But for $3.99, and today was 30% off day, so this is $3.
Yeah, she said yes to Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, okay. I thought it was worth trying. So to find hopefully a flip and maybe a fail. If it becomes a not cleanable thing, it's going to go into max sold, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's go look at some of the other things that we ended up finding. So this was something I also found today, which I thought was interesting. You might not think it's interesting, but I thought it was interesting. It's Kiss Me Lips. It is a CD holder that is lips. So yes, it's they were, as you can see, there were a couple of them on the shelf. Yeah, kind of it's kind of a thrifter to throw it kind of idea. Except for the fact that they were $2.99 for 2, which basically meant that with 30% off, they were $2 for 2, which means that they were $1 a piece. And so, yeah, I've got a cart full. I have a whole bag full. And not only that, they also had this one too.
I like the penguin one.
They only had one penguin, one set of 2 penguins. And strange enough, this penguin, I thought, okay, we're getting these actually for our thrift to go into our unit. But yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I got 12 of them in here. And
we'll put a couple of them up at Roadshow and see if they get snapped up.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Again, this just surprised me. I thought, I'm going to try and look these up. Plush CD holder. This is what shocked me when I went in to look at that kind of thing, is undersold things. Look at what people are, now that's not this one, but Fergal's Monster CD holder, $20. Cow, $20. $38, $14, $19, $33, $22. So people are paying still. This is stuff that's sold in October. They're selling. There's a hamburger that's sold for $22. And there is the penguin. And it's sold for $20. 2 of them. Now, of course, I never looked to see where they were made.
Of course, they're made in China.
The thing we have to do nowadays. Oh, they're made in China. So who knows what'll happen with them? But again, I got them both for $1, and so they're going to go. We do well with plush up at our unit, right? So I know, Kendra. It's the same. I didn't. It was just there were so many of them there, and the price was, I thought, was pretty good. I thought I should pick them up because it's. I mean, I said to Rick, I sent Rick a thing saying, "Okay, hon, these are $1 a piece. If we get them all, it's like $12 or $14. If we sell one for $14, the rest are free."
Yep.
So would you take a shot on something like that? And I think that's, yeah, you want to take a shot on that. If you look at something that's got a quantity, and with the quantity, you can go, okay, this is something that has a lot of things in it. Maybe it's worthwhile trying to take that quantity and seeing if there's something that you can do with it. And I'm just trying to see if my
that's a very good point. I don't have to clean them.
No, you don't. So this is another example of exactly that. So this is some baggies that I found that were key rings. I don't know if you can see them, but this $4.99 for these baggies, and they were filled with store displays of key rings. And
really funky 1980s.
Really funky. And in each bag for $4.99, there were, I think, 3. Right, Rick? I think.
Yeah, 3 sets.
And in each bag. And I found 3 or 4 bags. So I bought them all. So every bag had 36 or 48 of these things inside it. And so this is what we've done with that. We have put them up at our unit. And this is what I'm doing with them. I'm setting them up as $36 for the keychain store display. So it's like, there it is. It's made in Taiwan. I can actually sell made in Taiwan as well on eBay or Etsy. They are really fun 80s things. The one set has like glitter in these little baby bottles. And the other set actually has, I don't know if I got a good shot of it. The other set has little animals inside it. But I set it up like this. And in fact, what I've also done is I set up a thing at our booth for individual ones of these. So we're selling individuals for $3 a piece, 2 for $5. I paid for everything I got about $15. If I could sell one of these, everything else is free. That's a really good idea. You might put one in and keep the others for later. Well, the reason I put multiples in, Carl, was because I have 2 different images. So 2 different things. One of them was the crystals, and the other one is the animals. So that's why I put them both in, so somebody could have a choice. And I thought, if somebody bought one set of the animals, then they'd be gone. So they can take the set of animals, and there'll still be another one there, and then we can watch that. So that's kind of why we thought about doing it. And then we also put them in individually in case somebody just goes, I don't want to buy a whole batch of them. I just want to buy a couple as gifts, or like as
we're still trying to figure out exactly what sells well at Roadshow. It's so not like it used to be when we were selling at the other antique mall.
No, not at all. It's everything is a learning experience for us. Next, let's show you a couple of things that we also found. There we go. This is in our finds. So if we're still in our finds area, walked by one thing and saw this Glanza. Now, we always talk about this before, but it's just a reminder to people is keep your eyes open for IKEA, because this is IKEA. This is an IKEA thing. It's $13. And it's an indoor use. And the thing is, it's interesting. It's actually, it doubles as either a Christmas wreath or an actual chandelier. Oh, there. I thought I had that set up.
You did.
Huh?
You did.
I did, but I forgot to have it set up properly. Where did it go? Glanza. IKEA. So there's the interesting thing. That's one of them there. And we did check to see that they actually work, right? and that's just it. They come complete. So it's actually can hang up on the wall like a wreath. So like kind of like that image sideways as a wreath. Or it comes with the other hangers on it, so you can actually hang it as a chandelier. And there's a couple of them that have sold for $45 US, $49 US, $37.50 US. So again, there's 32. So this was that day that there were 45, and they all have delivery on top of them. So when you can look at something like that, and it ended up costing us $10 instead of 13, so it would have been like 7 US, 10 Canadian. And there were 2 of them. Both of them were in great shape. Both of them tested and plugged in and worked out. Yeah. Tina saying, yeah, like IKEA, the plastic balloon light. She sold several of those. Yeah, there's a number of things. And again, it doesn't take much to look them up. It's just, we have just one booth. One booth we're trying to figure out how to work. We almost had a second booth, but we didn't end up getting it. A little big story in there. This is something that Rick found, and it's sort of, I'm not. We just aren't sure. This is one of our finds. There's no other way to say it. This is what it is. This is a find. This is an old-fashioned phonograph
player. I tested it in the store. There's a little wind-up arm tucked at the back. You stick it in the side and you run it, and it actually spins the platter. Worked beautifully.
The challenge that we had, though, wasn't it, Rick? We could not find this company.
Yeah, we could not at all.
At all. Mulberry velvet. Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, it was one of the things that's like, well, how do we do? Do we risk it? And I can't remember what the price is of it. I think it was $19, wasn't it, Rick?
$17.50, I think.
I'll have to see.
It was under $20.
Under $20.
With the discount, it was under $20. We both said, if I saw that at a garage sale for $20, I'd buy it.
That's kind of what the decision became. Yeah, if you saw one of these and it was working underneath this big thing, when you lift that up, there is actually a needle that comes out, so you can choose the speed. Yep. And then we don't even know. We haven't even found out that, but this little box of Agulis Phono Fortes Bauhen.
They're needles.
Is filled with needles. Which you never know. This has happened to us before.
What kind of records can withstand that nail-like needle?
But the thing that's interesting is there's a bunch of needles in there. And we've found things like this before where the part that we had inside was worth more than the actual thing. So we have to do some more research on this because, again, I don't have the thing for AIG. Let's see if I can figure it out here. I don't think so. AIGULES. I think that's what it was, wasn't it, Rick?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Spelling it. AIG Aguilles Phono.
AIGUILLES.
Phono. This is that needle box.
And there's only one picture?
There's only one picture. It's
Are
empty.
there needles in it?
It's empty. Explore related items. They have a bunch of them that are empty, that are different prices. Everybody's selling empty ones.
That's the same seller.
But look at all these things. Empty. They're all empty cases.
Well, then put in your search bar needles.
I'm just going to guess and go highest. Here's something here. Oh, there's a
That's
whole
just
box
the
for
box.
$50 for $200. Or
But
200.
people are buying that for the graphics on the box.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I was just we didn't bother looking that up anywhere, and obviously people like needle boxes. Not that needle box, but
Your
again,
new keyboard is loud. Your new keyboard
that's
is
my old
loud.
keyboard. I'm back at my old keyboard.
Okay, well,
I'm
you're
just typing
smashing it.
furiously. That's all. Probably max sold. Yeah, again, the part of the challenge is trying to figure out who is this manufacturer, because again, we could not find crossed rifles as a manufacturer. So we got to do a little more digging in that, but that's what's part of the fun of looking, right? That's part of the fun of looking around, looking for stuff that you find.
Yep.
I found this baggie, and every once in a while, I'm still looking for stuff. I don't know why, but I still find this, and I go, oh, look, a bag full of Hallmarks. So $3.49. Who could go wrong with a bag full of Hallmarks? Well, the one that I could see was, yay, it was the Wicked of the Witch of the West. Yay! So I figured that's got to at least get me $15, $20. I didn't even bother looking it up. I just went, yeah, that's going to be $15, $20. And then that one was like, oh, look, it's Tiana. Yay! And then that one, it's like, oh, it's Crayola. Who cares? Well, Rick opens them up and he does a little bit of research and finds out this is a Crayola repaint and has a tendency to list for $40 to $60 on its own for just the repaint version.
And it sells well.
And it sells quite well.
Look at solds.
There's only one, $30.
Oh, I looked for more than 90 days.
It could be how you phrased it versus how I phrased it. But again, it was sort of like, well, for us to actually look at something like that, it's like, that's why I tell people to take a look at these things. So what we've actually done is the repaint is going as a listing on eBay. And then the Wicked Witch and Tiana are both put up to our booth, because we redid the booth on Friday with a bunch of Christmas stuff, a lot of Hallmark ornaments, but a bunch of Christmas stuff. I'm going to talk about a little bit of that in our...
Okay, the repaint just means that it's a different colorway from the ornament that was originally created. I think the original one was blue. The repaint is yellow.
I think somebody has them both for sale. There.
Oh, red.
So that's how repaints normally for any Hallmark ornaments are done as a special either edition for either a limited edition for a night. They're at an event of some kind. They aren't something that you can usually get on the regular market at all. How do you know what's a repaint or not? We don't. That's just it. He just Googled it and then found out it was a repaint. So this is the red is what is the common one that everybody could buy. And you can see if people are trying to get $50 or $40 to $50 for just the repaint, the regular one goes for only about $10. So Dougie's
Tina has a message or a comment.
Google found an image of a record player with cross rifles. It's likely World War II Special Army Services Field Unit. Tina, send me a link to that message, whatever you Google. Send it to us in Messenger. I would really need. Yeah, that would. It does really take some in-depth knowledge. Like I wasn't looking on the shelf going, "Ooh, that's a repaint." I could have looked it up and probably found that. But it's again nice for something that cost me $3.49. It's actually, I'm going to make that money back easily, and I think that the Wicked Witch and Tiana should sell really easy. Let's see this there. Next is a Rick thing, because this is just a Rick thing.
Excuse me, Chris.
Wait, well, actually, since he's going, I think he's going to see Doug, so I'm going to go on to a me thing. This is something again I found. I actually couldn't even see this, so I go to a Salvation Army store that we've been by, and the Salvation Army has this glass case, and so I have positional vertigo, which means that I have trouble bending my head completely down, like to look at things. Like I could get really dizzy standing up. So I basically had to hold my phone. I know, old man here. I hold my phone down at the level of the floor, take a picture, and have to look at the picture from there. And this is what I saw in the picture. This was this thing that I saw, and I go, oh, look, it's One Piece magazine. Now, One Piece is an anime thing that people may know about. It's actually got like 400 episodes on Netflix that are animated. There's actually a live version on Netflix as well, which has got really done really, really well. And it's a series of books. There's that you can go for big money. So One Piece is huge. So one of the things I always look for, again, when I'm looking for something interesting, is not only that it was One Piece, but what got me here was it looked like it was a cross promo. So this One Piece magazine crossed with Hobonichi Techo. I don't know what that is. I thought, I have no clue. And so I couldn't even see the price, which is $20. So I asked them, can you please bring this out? And what it is it is a baggie, a cloth bag. And inside the cloth bag is actually a leather notebook cover, just a notebook cover. I thought, oh, okay. And you can't see it, but up in the top corner, it actually had a $50 price tag. And then the $20 price tag. And I said to the girl, oh, is it 50 or 20? She goes, oh, you can have it for 10. So I didn't even look it up. And then I got home and looked it up. And this is what I found, which I thought was quite interesting. That's the notebook. Yes, that is the notebook. That's it. $153 for the notebook. That's it. It's literally that. It's a leather logbook called Go and Marry.
Hobonichi Techno is actually the company that makes them. It's a life book, and it's Japanese.
And so there's two of them. One sold for $266 from Japan. Last one, and another. They're all located in Japan. And if I go to unsolds, so there's a better picture of what I got. Right, sold for $198. And that's all it is. It's just that baggie and the notebook. So, again, I just saw One Piece cross with, and I probably would have bought it for 20 without looking it up. But it's nice when you can have a sort of fab find like this. It's actually in our drafts right now. We're going to be listing it. I'm listing it for 124 US. Because I want to flip it really fast.
Are you doing it in .com or?
No, it's 175 Canadian. It's on .ca.
Okay.
But 125 US as well. Because those numbers I'm showing are actually US numbers.
Yep.
That were there, that were sold, were US numbers.
I'm still not used to listing on .ca.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing that Rick bought.
Oh, these are so cute. They are frickin' heavy. Yeah, you can see they're about 10 inches tall.
Okay. Depending on where you're looking from them, they are either one thing or another. They're actually,
mama, pregnant mama.
They're elephants.
They are elephants. And it is soapstone, and they are bookends, and they are hand painted in Africa. I think they're Kenyan.
They're Google Hut. I know that looks like boobs, and pregnant ladies said no. Yeah, and yes, those are different. So those are a typical Rick. But yeah, there was the two of them. They're in nice shape.
They're painted very well. They don't have any scratches on them. Soapstone is really soft, but it's heavy.
They are very heavy. I don't know what we're doing with them, Rick. I don't know if you managed to look up anything for them or not.
I think I sent you a link to someone who's listed one of them as a doorstop. If you go to a couple tabs over from where you are,
one has linked it as a doorstop.
One is listed as a doorstop on Etsy.
And I'm trying to find what you might have sent me.
You put it in the tab right after that.
No, I don't.
I sent you the link.
I know, but I don't have it. If I
Check
had it,
your
I would be able to show
messenger.
it.
Check your messenger.
I did. I just checked Messenger, and it's not in my Messenger either. Well, oh, there. That's okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I hope everyone is having fun listening to us grouse.
There. Red soapstone elephant doorstop.
Yes, red soapstone elephant doorstop.
And that doesn't even look like ours. I mean, there's no painting on
There's
there.
no painting on it, but if you look at what?
Well, I look at the TJ Maxx logo they didn't bother removing.
Oh, okay. All right, we know better now.
I'm sure that that's TJ Maxx.
It looks like TJ Maxx. But you'd think that there would be like 1,000 of them listed on reseller sites.
You'd think that they'd take that off of it.
Yeah.
If they're planning on selling it for $293.
Stop judging the saggy elephant boobs, Heather.
So where do they go? There. So again, yeah, it is cute when you look at it again, when you take a close look at it, and you can see that they're elephants. You can see the eyes that are on them. It's the Kenyan TJ Maxx. It is TJ Maxx. Okay. One on eBay is a doorstop too, 49 Canadian. Well,
okay, but still,
I don't know what we're gonna do with them.
We might put them at our booth for
Rick bought them got him on Senior Day. That's when we're going now. That's the one thing that got Rick to agree to is if he goes, we go on Senior Day, so it's 30% off. So we pay $10 Canadian for those, $7 US. So interesting things. It's like you're out there and you're finding stuff and you're flipping stuff and you don't know what you're going to be finding. So, but we are flipping stuff too. But this is one more of Rick's finds. Let's see if I can find this. This is the last of the finds we're going to show you before we get into our flips and fails.
He's so cute.
He's so big.
He was $7.99, and it was Senior Day, so we got him for $5.
Oh, Elisa sold a girthy ceramic monk pecker. So, there's nothing else I could do. Yeah, I just have to show what she sold. This is her girthy monk pecker that she sold on eBay. There we go. So just so you needed to see it, since somebody didn't need to see it. But there's this, and now, of course, I always say to Rick, where did he go? Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's quite big.
He's quite big. We sat him in the living room, and Doug kept going up to him and then kind of hitting his nose against that thing's nose, and then he'd walk away. Then, 2 hours later, Doug would walk back and see there's a wolf there and walk up to the wolf and walk away. Every time, so I said, Rick, he has to leave the living room because he's confusing Doug. And he's also confusing me because I petted it once because he put it on a chair. And as I walked by, I petted it kind of thinking, oh, it's real, even though it wasn't real. Now, the reason he did get it, though, was this is one right now that somebody's got listed for $143 US.
Yeah, it's made in India, not China, which is okay.
It's by a company called Wild Republic.
And there are some comparables that are in the $200 to $300 range.
So again, another.
But when you pay $5 for something,
just to keep your eyes open for, again, there's 18,000 Wild Republics plushes listed right now. Oops, did that in the wrong one. Hold on, wrong field. Clickety click, Barbara trick. I know. There's 18,000 listed of wild now, and some of them are cute and smaller too. But here's the thing. So let's go to solds. So again, it's a name that you should keep your eyes open for in the plush area. And let's look at some highest price first just to see where things go. And that's not doing highest price. It is doing highest price plus shipping. It's $137. $104 for that wolf. $92 for that. Snake for $77. A wild moray eel for $70. So again, keep your eyes open. The name is Wild Republic.
Yeah, because we spent $5 on it. If it sells for $50, I'd be happy.
Trying to see if I've got a better link of what the label looks like. That's kind of the label there. And Rick, you could lift them up and show the Wild Republic tag.
Sorry. It almost looks like the Nike logo. It's a monkey.
And then it says Wild Republic on the other side, right?
Yes, it does.
It's upside down, but wildrepublic.com.
Yeah, it's too difficult for me to flip that right side up, so stay.
Elisa has a 6-foot Melissa and Doug lion. It's currently near school, and the top had to yell at the 10-year-old voice to stop thrifting. Gigi would love it, yes. So it's just something different to look at, is thinking about something like that. That's the stuff that you're looking out for. That's some of your finds.
That we could put at the booth as well.
Yep. Now we're going to go on to our flips. So some of these we've talked a little bit about, but we listed, but we just want to show you that they are flips. Believe me, we've had some challenges just with sales overall, like a lot of people. And I'm actually seeing this in lots of different groups. I'm not just seeing it specifically in our group, but I'm seeing it in lots of other groups, in groups like in Poshmark groups. I'm seeing it in just people who are trying to sell like plushes in a plush group, Facebook groups. People asking, are my sales through Etsy and eBay are through the floor? I think everybody's suffering right now. It's not your typical Christmas. I think there's a lot of things that happened with the U.S. shutdown for us Canadians. We've got that on top of it. But in the U.S., I think people have to deal with the U.S. shutdowns and uncertainty that's going on in there. And for the Canadians, we're trying to figure out how to do stuff around the world and see if we can still ship stuff. What's going to happen? Are tariffs going to change? Are they going to be taken away? The de minimis is still, so many different things. But some stuff is still selling. And so we just wanted to show you some of the stuff that has sold for us. So as you may recall, we showed this just recently, it's the Hallmark Canadian Jingle Pal Snowman. And we put this up. And interestingly enough, we had this on eBay. And I think the day I listed it on eBay, the next, like an hour later, I saw in a Hallmark group somebody posting a picture of 12 of these. And they said, this is my collection of these. And then the comments were all, what is that? I've never seen it, because everybody in the US who knows Jingle Pals don't know about it because it was a Canadian exclusive. So he wrote, it's a Canadian exclusive. So what did I do? I wrote on there, and I just put one up on eBay. And literally within probably an hour from that, it sold. And it sold for $195 Canadian. It sold using eBay's EIS, international sales. So it's one of the first things that we sold into the States. So they paid the shipping within Canada to get it there. And then they paid the EIS. And here's actually what it's, if you can go on to this and you can see the details. They paid $49.50 shipping for that. So I figured that if somebody's going to want it, they're going to pay for it. And somebody obviously did. So it's literally on its way right now. It's
got to the hub. It hasn't been shipped out of the hub.
But all we care about is it gets to the hub. Because once it gets to the hub, it's delivered. So whatever happens from that point, we don't care. It's on eBay. So if the person doesn't get it or has a problem with it, you never know. Here's another thing we showed you, which was our Loki. The thing I found in a baggie that I was going to put into a thing for like $2. And then we realized it was oh my God, it is a rare Masters of, or She-Ra. She-Ra? Yeah.
She-Ra Masters of the Universe.
Character called Loki that was only produced in the UK, in Europe and Canada. And so I put this up on a listing, and I thought I'm going to put it up for auction. And we started the auction at $599. And within 3 hours, I had people contacting me within eBay, off eBay. And by off eBay, what I meant was there were people who found that, since we're listing on eBay as Two Dogs Digs, there's people who found our Two Dogs Digs website, email, messenger, Facebook, and sent me messages to try and get it to sell off there, trade for it, all sorts of different things. And I thought, boy, a lot of people want this. Do you want to let Doug out, Rick?
Yeah.
Or does he not want out?
No, I'll go let him out.
And a lot of people must want this. So cheeky, I actually ended up going on 24 hours after I listed it, starting at $599, and I raised the price to $750 US. I raised the price for $750 US, and it actually stayed. I got a bid within like a day, and then at the very last moment, it actually went up right at the end of the auction, and we managed to sell this guy for $867. And it went to the UK. So this guy's actually traveled to the UK, $867. And the shipping on this was a little high. We estimated the shipping on it as, he didn't use eBay international shipping. We just used regular United Kingdom shipping on it, which was $35 because we do normal ship to the UK. So we sold him, and it cost us almost 70. No, it doesn't. It doesn't talk. It just, its eyes go back and forth when you roll it on the floor. Now, the fun thing was, this person, this was the last thing they needed to complete their entire She-Ra Princess of Power vintage collection. And they've been looking for it for ages. But the problem was, every time they went to look for it, they were seeing it at $1,200 and $1,500 US. In the box, $1,400, or sorry, $4,000. So they thought they were never going to get one. Well, the reason I listed it a little lower was literally, oh, here's the video, so you can see this is literally all it did. So we go like this and get it to run. Here's the video. Come on, run. Wanna run? I don't know why it won't run. Play video 8. Oh, well, it just rolls, that's all. But the reason I listed it was because there were a couple of tiny dots, and I wanted people to know what those dots are. And because his feet had some rubs. So you can see, I wasn't going to take any estimate and have people say, oh, wait a sec. So I dropped the price. He's 3 inches tall. That big. So just little guy. And the guy got it. We told him, we had a conversation with him and said, you're going to end up having to pay VAT when it arrives there, because eBay doesn't charge VAT on items over $150. And he said, no problem. I've been waiting for this for so long. He got it. We traced it. We sent it via, how do we send that?
We sent it through Canada Post, International Express, I think.
It arrived in the UK in 48 hours after we sent it, and then it had to go up to Scotland.
And then go through customs, and had to be notified of the amount owing. And
yeah, so it ended up, and he had to pay, and he said he didn't care. And we got positive feedback on it, so we're really happy about that. So that's another flip that we had. This was something I've been sitting around for a little while. Yeah, Rick does that. He puts the Two Dogs Digs logo on there. This is a talking rhino that we had, and it was like, I just wanted this gone. Hippo, because it was so, it took a long time for, I had been sitting there. I had it priced at like $100. I decided to just drop the price. I dropped it down to 75, and it sold. And I can't remember where it sold to. I think it sold to
the UK. It went to London or England.
It went to England as well.
Yep.
this is what we were talking about. We brought Christmas stuff up. You can see a little bit of the stuff in the back here, but we brought Christmas stuff up. And again, this is part of our flips. This is stuff, literally, this candle blow mold that you see back here. It's actually got a giant crack down here at the bottom base. You can barely see it on this image, but it was broken. It was $4 at the thrift store, less 30%. I plugged it in and it worked. And so we took it up to the unit and put it at 28. It sold in 24 hours. And this tree, which is a little rotating fiber optic tree, again, this was a $7 tree. We plugged that in so it was rotating, and it caught enough interest that literally it sold within 24 hours after we brought it there. This guy hasn't sold yet, but we have this entire back thing is all filled with there's the witch. You can see the witch back there. So again, part of our flips is finding stuff like that. On Etsy, we've been doing okay with our sales. This Busilla little Victorian ornament set that's been on there, we actually sold this. This went to the UK. The UK.
Yeah.
$35, and it went to the UK. This mushrooms set of mugs had been on Etsy enough that I literally moved it with my hands and was thinking about taking it up to the unit and putting it at like $25 or $30 or putting it in max sold. And it ended up selling eventually for $95. And that went to the US.
Yeah, that one we actually paid for it was made in the US, so we had to pay a small brokerage fee and Chit Chat's fee. So it was like $3 all in for the extra fee.
Check on Doug again, please.
Okay.
And then this was another surprise. This has been sitting on our Etsy. I completely forgot about this sitting on our Etsy store. And this was this strange plush Barbie. It's the weirdest kind of Barbie that I've seen in a long time. It's a plush doll, and it actually ended up selling for $125. It's a Mycene 2-foot tall posable doll from 2004, and it sold for $124. And I think this might have gone to France. So it was just really interesting that I know the feet are big. It's just really interesting that you have stuff like that, and then you can all of a sudden think about it, not think about it, and then it ends up. So some finds, some flips, but yeah, we got some fails. So I'm going to show you. Oh, I got one more flip that I got to show you that's Rick's, but I got I'm going to start off showing you fails. So whenever I see someone as popular, Wicked's starting soon. So this, I just saw this and I immediately gravitated to it and went, oh my God, Briar horse ornaments, $4.49, less 30%. Briar horse ornaments, 30% off. Yay, I got to get to those. Oh, Rick's back. So before I go to I'm going to go back to Rick's find. So Rick found this.
Yes, it's a hope chest, a cedar hope chest. It had water damage on it on the very top, but I had a long conversation with Craig in the store saying, look, I know that I can fix that, and I know that these things sell well on max sold, so I want us to spend, what is
$12.
it, $12 on this, and we'll put it in max sold after I
cleaned it up. That's it all cleaned up. And that's it sold on max sold, $225. So again, finding some things that we've got good potential flips on. I put this on max sold, which was this big box of unknown mix of all sorts of different things from Lego. It's an old Lego system box. And it is not everything that's in this. This is not exactly here. I didn't even count or see. There's all sorts of different pieces in here. And
I took a lot of pictures of the contents.
Lots and lots of pictures of content. But the key on this was we always say, if someone knows what they're looking for, they're not going to know. So we did make sure that we showed that there were, I kept all the people down in this one corner of the image. And this, again, surprised us. We managed to sell this for $250. There's all the pictures that Rick took.
And
There's
that shot up to $250 within 2 days of the auction launching.
And I think, again, it was one of those things where the guy who was buying it said that he wanted one thing from here. Wasn't there one figure?
There was one figure he pulled out and made sure that that was the one
there,
that he saw in the
and then
picture.
he also said, and I also wanted the box.
Yep.
But that's what made him pay $250. So you never know. But again, some good flips. Now back to the thing I was talking about, those fails. Briar, it's the Briars. Well, I grabbed them and $3 because 30% off. I'm not even going to think about them. And I mean, look at them. They're so cute. They're little stirrup ornaments. We get them home. I don't even look at them. I write them all up. I got them all ready to go to eBay. I say, Rick, they're in my eBay thing. Time for you to take pictures. And Rick begins to tell me,
oh, this one has a missing back leg. This one is broken completely off the stand. The pieces are all there. I could glue it, but no. So, thankfully, one of them was completely intact, and it happened to be the most expensive one.
Yes.
The one that sells for the most.
This guy was intact. And it's now we just listed him today for 95 US or 95 Canadian.
Yeah, he sells for what, 75 US?
100 to 120 US actually. It's got a very good sales record on this specific one. So again, the reason it's a fail is because I didn't bother thinking when I looked at these.
Well, why would you open them up and take them out of their packaging?
That's what I should have done. I should have opened them up. I should know enough to at least open up a box. I got so excited at finding them and knowing how Briar is. I just thought, oh, for $3, happy day, happy day. It was like, what a some of the fails you can just smack yourself for. Again, if I would have only looked at them. I would have found two broken. I wouldn't have bought them. I would have bought just the one. But now it's the equivalent of a $9 expenditure on just the one. Yeah. But hopefully to get 95 for it. This is Rick's find.
Yes, this is my find. These are in the style of Dorothy Shoup. They are lovely pieces.
In the style of Dorothy Shoup.
Dorothy Shoup. Or no, not Dorothy Shoup. Heidi Shoup. Now, if you look at this first picture, this is where I found them on the shelf. They're mirror images of each other. They look lovely. They both look intact. I moved them. I put them in the cart. We ran around the store. There are a couple uneven places in the store where the cart jiggled. Craig said, oh, take another picture of those. So I put them back up on the shelf. And if you look at closely, you will see that the figure on the left is now missing an arm. The arm is there in the first picture, and it's gone in this picture. And I didn't notice it at checkout. I also
cost $20.
They were $20
each.
And now, I did not notice that her arm had broken off. I also didn't notice that she had been dropped and glued. So I guess you can see the big corner was broken off here. And if you look closely, you can see that she actually broke off at the hip.
You can actually see that in here too. If you look closely, there's a big line right here on her hips where she broke off in half. So this was Rick's equivalent of
actually, that's he, because he doesn't have the skirt. Okay.
But that's Rick's equivalent of doing the exact same as me.
He's
so
a broke down male.
You were so mad.
I was really pissed off.
He's like, I shouldn't have let her wrap it. Like, because the one who wrapped it. And I was like, oh, well. Now, here's something that we asked the group. What would you do? Because I have one thing I would do, and Rick has a different thing to do. Would you try and sell them as a pair, knowing that the woman is in great shape and the guy has been busted? Or would you sell just the woman on her own and basically toss the guy out?
I mean, if you think about it, that arm would be very simple to recreate because it's basically just a tube of plaster or a tube of whatever. Anyways,
So simple.
So simple, yes.
So what would you do? Lisa said she'd sell the pair. Yeah, he really did hate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is hard to catch them though. Sometimes, Tina, you're right. It is like.
Actually, it wasn't broken when I first saw it on the shelf. When I picked it up and put it in the cart, the arm was still there. You can see it in the picture.
It was still broken.
It was still broken, but if the arm was there, it would be less unsellable. It would be less unsellable. And to be frank, I would not include that as the pair. I decided that I will not be listing this one, the broken one, but I will list the female figure individually. And I do have a draft listing ready for Etsy. And I'm intending on listing it for, I think it's 125.
Yeah, it is interesting. Part of the reason he wanted to buy them for $20 a piece was because they looked like they were the equivalent of Lefton or napkin. They were like $250 plus as a pair.
A lot of people are attributing them to Heidi Shoup.
I would get angry, then put it in the death pile, then never take it out of the death pile. That's the problem. Then you take it out of the death pile, and every time you look at the death pile, you remember why you put it in the death pile to get mad at yourself again. So
I don't know what to do with her. Do I donate her? Do I take a hammer to it?
I would
take a hammer to it and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
What would you do?
They said everybody's saying sell as a pair, knowing that the value is only the one. That's the pattern exactly. So that we'll have to, I mean, we'll take your advice on this then and sell it as a pair, even though I think it should only sell as one. I thought, who would care about a pair?
I'm not going to list them as the pair.
Oh, well, no, we're not taking your advice. So we'll see what happens. So thanks, everyone, for your advice on this day of fab finds, flips, and fails. We ended on a couple of fails, but hopefully you saw some interesting finds and some more interesting flips. And thank God we had flips that were like $800 or something like that. That sort of helped make our month, is having some bigger things like that. So,
we'll get a jiggly arm and throw it on.
But you said it's so simple to create an arm, and I said, then do it. You said no.
I don't want to have to spend $30 on art supplies to try to fix it. So
yeah. Oh well. So thanks a lot for putting up with our first 10 minutes of what the hell's going on. And again, I'm going to edit that out so no one sees that who tunes in later, because we usually have a few other people tuning in after the fact. We will see you again, hopefully a couple more times before Christmas. We have another Thrifter to Throw It coming up. We may do another one of these fine flips and fails again. Trying to figure out how to keep doing shows that have something. At least I'm going out now at least once a week. I might do one focusing just on Christmas stuff. You never know. And hopefully you'll have a little bit of fun with this. You may get some sales. Hopefully you're using eBay EIS. If you're not, try it. It's not if you're allowed to. I mean, you still got to get the sale, which can be tough for because of the fees and everything that are in there. But try whatever you can. And again, we're doing everything we can. We're selling on Facebook. We're selling on Maxsold. We're selling on Etsy. We're selling on eBay. We're trying to all different every different place we can possibly try and do it. We're trying to sell. So we're way below 70-80% below where we were last year at this time, and I expect a lot of people are. So we're still trying to keep some fun. At least we've got the booth, and the booth is actually doing okay for us right now. As of this weekend, we had a really good weekend at it, so we've actually made our monthly rent, and we still have 2 more weekends left in November. So we're hoping they go over well too. So thanks again for joining us. Again, apologies for the first 10 minutes. If you didn't see the first 10 minutes, don't worry, it never happened. And we'll never do that again.
Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Good night, kids.